Good morning all. It's a bit of an early start this morning, only I got a full day planned, but I wanted to get the peas in after put them into soak yesterday. So the first job is to drain the water off, but as you can see these have swollen quite a lot. I'll just drain the water off, then get the troughs ready to plant them. Shorter space in the greenhouse now, and I just moved the plank and noticed that the first early swift potatoes that was planted on the 20th of February are now showing their heads. I might put just a bit more compost on the top of these, but I think I'm going to have to find one more permanent home soon. Just putting a little layer of compost on the bottom here, nothing too deep. This is the Wix's compost that I purchased about, I think it's about 3 or 4 bags of. So it doesn't need to be too deep. If you notice on there, there's drainage holes in the bottom. Now sowing peas, there's different thoughts on it. This one works for me. Soaking peas works for me. Some people don't soak them, some people don't have drain holes. If you look at Mark Davidson, he doesn't do any of those, but he gets some cracking peas, so it's whatever it suits you. Like, but to say this method works for me, and I'm just going to carry on using it. So that's the bottom layer put in. Now normally I'd sow direct onto these, but this compost is a little bit dry, so I'm just going to give it a little light dust of water. That's it, and on with the sowing. So there's the peas in. I'm one who just scatters them. I can't be done with putting them in a pattern or nothing. I mean, that's the way they grow in nature. And all that's left now is to do a little top covering of soil. Some people don't put drainage holes in because the roots grow out and it's problems getting out, but to be honest, all I do when I'm ready to plant out, I dig a trench in the soil, give the gutter a good soaking so it's absolutely brimming with water, and then the slide out the roots and all. I've never had no problem, but we'll see that later on when I come to plant out. All that's left now is to give the soil a gentle tamp down just to get in contact with the peas fully, and then I'll give it a little drink and it's all done. About time I got me heated propagating bench into action. This has just been lying here all over winter. I've had onions on here just drying out really, and this is normal builder sand, concrete sand. It's going to be hard, but just break the surface and it's fresh again. If you haven't seen it already, Tony O'Neill of UK Here We Grow built a box almost identical to this, including the size. The only difference is here I've got a rod thermostat, which is a rod which goes into the sand and it monitors the temperature and switches the heat on and off. It's built more or less identically the same. There's a look under there. There's a piece of this insulation. There's styrofoam. There's like Celotex and Kingspan is the brand names in the UK that we use as well. That's on the base. This plastic sheeting, that's what I cover the beds on the allotment with, and then this is just building sand, the layers of wires which go up and down that way, and another layer on top. What I do intend to do, I'll just show you in a minute. I've got another box the other side which I'm going to actually replace. I'll be filling that instead of using this building sand, which is very heavy. I'll be using the vermiculite that I purchased from Poundland. So I'll just clear this up and I'll show you what else we've got. This was the original design of my box, and this is the actual one that's going to be rebuilt this year. I've already got the wood for it, so I'll just lift this up here. The other thing, as you can see, is the soil warming cables. You'll have to excuse all the mess in there, that's the onion skins which fell through. And more or less the same thing when I build a new box, only they'll have the insulation on the bottom, a bit of perlite, then I'll run the cables the same pattern as that, and more perlite on the top. So originally I just had the grid on, and it was purely the heat rising up from the cables, but there was a lot of wasted energy there, so I think the perlite method is the more economical way. Again, this one's got the Rod's thermostat on, so I'll be using that as well. So that's the other one. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done a bit later on in the year, but the main thing now is to get this up and running. I've cleared the sand on the top, and all I need now, I'll give it a good soak in with the maybe a full watering can on the top. Let that soak in, put the heat on, I'll put the lid on as well just to get it up to temperature, and then we can get it into action. That's the lid in place now, and I'll leave that for about 2 to 3 hours just to warm the sand up. It's on full power, and because the liner which is inside, it'll retain all the moisture that I put in with the watering can, and it'll create a nice humid atmosphere. I'll just show you the thermostat again now, and you can see the 2 lights on there. The red one shows that the main power being received, and the yellow orangey one shows that it's actually switched on at the moment, generating heat. That flicks on and off as it reaches a temperature which you can adjust with the dial on the right hand side. Well, it's amazing how much a little bit of heat makes to the plants. I'm just looking in the heated sand bed, and it's amazing. Look at these little cucumbers. It's about time we got these potted on. These are market more, and they was sown on the 2nd of March. And 9 out of 9 germination, which is fantastic. Cucumbers do like it a little bit warmer than tomatoes and that, and also they like a lot of humidity. So I've just taken these out now. I'm just going to pot these on, break them away gently. I'll probably grow about 2 or 3 in the greenhouse, and these you can actually grow these outside as well. So I might try a few, and also I'll end up giving a few away. I'm just putting these on now into clover. I've made quite a deep hole in there, and just before I put the plant in, I've got a bit of mycorrhizal fungi. I'll just drop it in, blow some into the hole, and away it goes into there. Just hit a little tap down. Right. What I will do that then is, when I've potted them all up, I'll put them into a tray to soak, and then I'll put them back into the heated box. That's the market more now. They've had a little soak in the bath. You notice I've top dressed it a little bit with some vermiculite. So I use that mainly as an indicator to the wetness, and I can see the colour has changed now. So what I'll do those is pop them back into the heated sand box, and let them get used to the new home. Continuing on with the potting on, these are the Crimson Crush, the blight resistant tomatoes. I've got 8 out of 10 germinate on here, so they've gone a bit leggy at the moment because the way they've been in the propagator for such a long time, but that's no issue really, because I've got quite deep pots and I'll just plant them really deep. So let's get them on. Again, this is clover compost. I've just added a little bit of perlite in, I've got knocking around. I'm going to put a fairly deep hole because the plants are, as you can see, them already on the first true leaves. Then add a drop of mycorrhizal into the planting hole and some round the plot there, and just help that down to the bottom, and there we go. One down, 7 to go. Oh, just pop a bit of compost into the tray. Be generous with the compost. Need to knock down to get rid of most of the air pockets, and just form a hole in the middle. This will be going quite deep, as I say, because the plants have gone a little bit on the leggy side, but not to worry. Put a bit of mycorrhizae in the bottom, put the tomato in, a bit more on top, and cover him up. Gently firm down round the outside of the plant, and that's good to go. For the regular followers of the channel will know I've got a weird and wonderful way of labelling my plants. That's the normal way I do it with the electrical tape. That's when I do the seed sowing, so all the plants come up in there, I know what they are. But when I come to pot them on, as I've done in here, what I'll do then is I'll create a list on my computer, spreadsheet. It's just numbers 1 right the way down, and by each number I'll put the plant name. So once these have finished watering, I'll cut a little label out on your smallest one there, and that'll have a number 1 on. I'll look on the list and straight away I'll know that number 1 is Crimson Crush, and I'll do that with each plant as I pot them on individually. They'll have a separate number, so looking at the number I can tell what plant it is. In that way then it doesn't matter if the pots get mixed up anywhere, just looking at the number I can tell what they are. It's time to sow the celery. That's a tongue twister, right? And I'm doing my usual one, the Latham self-blanching. I've got a 3.5 inch pot here. This is just a bit of F2 plus S, and just tamp it down a little bit, not too much. The soil's already quite damp, so I'll sow directly on top of it, and just very, very fine this seed, so I'm just going to scatter. With celery, it rewards me every year, and I tend to abuse it. I'll just sow this seed in here, wait till it's beyond recognition, and then decide to prick it out, and it always comes back. But saying that, last year I did neglect it once I planted it out, and it hadn't went a bit dry with no water, but I've still got a few good sticks of it. Anyway, because the seeds are fine, I just put the vermiculite on the top. A light sprinkling of vermiculite, that's all we need. And that's it. I'll just give that another mist in with water now, and I'll put it in the heated box. Well, the sun's shining, and the plants are taking a bit of battering in there. Forecast for the next few days, so I think it's time to get the old net curtains out. Oh, can you believe it? The sun's come out and we've run out of time. I've still got lots more stuff to film and plenty more clips in the bag, so the next episode to this shouldn't be too long. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.